At this point, just hit the reboot button. We need to redo all of this. It's not working. It hasn't been for a while. What are we doing?
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Well, here we go again. Once again, I'm asking you guys to donate minutes of your life to me that you're never, ever gonna get back. And the fact that you guys keep showing up and giving me those minutes, I truly appreciate it. Let's get into it, guys.
Donald Trump says that Americans want a dictator, and JD Vance refuses to answer the question of where are we sending the homeless people that the Trump regime and the Gestapo are rounding up. I just made a whole new YouTube video about this, 2 new YouTube videos. You go check those out. But yeah, Americans, by and large, whether you voted for Donald Trump or not, genuine question, do you want a dictator? If your answer is yes, you are no longer an American. Please stop role-playing as one of us. And that's not opinionated. If you do not believe in democracy, you are not an American. If you actually want a dictator, you do not get to speak. You do not get to debate because you do not believe in debate. You do not believe in making your own choices. You believe that you are so pathetic and incapable of making decisions for yourself that you are willfully advocating for a fucking dictatorship. It's not political. You are an enemy of freedom and an enemy of humanity. Careful.
Alright, Google me this. Ask Google, how many lies has Donald Trump told since he's become president?
Hey guys, when do we say enough is enough? When do we fight back? When do we stand up for our fucking rights in this country? What the fuck are the Democrats doing? Clearly nothing. Get off your asses and fight.
So it's the 25th, and the man is still breathing. I'm upset, but his health is still declining, so maybe there's hope. Some people are saying that she didn't say what fucking year, so we might have to wait a whole nother fucking year, or 2, or 3, or 4.
You understand there is good and bad people on both sides, right? Now, which side is proudly showing off their concentration camp where the whole gimmick is that alligators get to eat people alive, dumbass?
All of the fake as fuck MAGA supporters who are pieces of shit, like Mama Tot, you're pieces of shit, because when the Democratic president was in charge, you were talking about, ain't you mad? Ain't you mad? And now this flood happens under King MAGA, and y'all are talking about, let's not make a tragedy political. Because it's your fault. Because it's directly your fault, now you don't want to make it political? Okay.
3, 2, 1.
We are the Kansas City Scream Club, and we are here today to scream. We are not just here to scream, we are here to form community.
Just having a safe space and feeling all that energy of everybody doing it with you. I was just letting go of all of my stress from the weeks, months, the year. And I could just feel it all leaving my body. It was such a positive and empowering experience. I'm screaming about all the people that just pretend things are normal when it's not.
What inspired the Scream Club?
Chicago Scream Club! I saw it and I was like, I need to go to Chicago to do this. I want to participate. Then I was like, no, we need to do this in Kansas City. So we kind of just simultaneously came together on social media. This is more than screaming. This is about screaming, releasing, having fun, and meeting new people.
Okay, that clip is not the normal type of clip that I'll play for you guys, but I've come across clips like this several times now of liberals that just go off in the woods and scream. They go to the ocean and scream. They go into rooms with hammers and baseball bats and they break things. It's like they have this negative energy that they need to get out. Now you'll notice that's a big difference between the right and the left. You don't really see people that are on the right that need to go out into nature and primal scream. They don't have that negative energy pent up the same way. However, I will say one thing in their defense. Everybody does this. It's normal human instinct. If you were to stub your toe or drop a brick on your toe, what's your first instinct? You scream out a curse word. It's actually scientifically proven that cursing and yelling subsides the pain. I know, it sounds crazy, but it's been scientifically proven. So I can understand how they need to get that negative energy out, but the comparisons I made was pain. They're talking about like rage and anger. So despite giving them a few bonus points of understanding, I still have to sit here and say, liberals, what the hell? What is wrong with you guys? Why do you guys feel that you need to go to the ocean, go to the forest to do these primal screams? And now that you guys have clubs in different cities, scream clubs, can you really say that this is normal? You can't keep using Donald Trump as an excuse. You can't keep saying, well, yeah, it's because of Trump. If Trump wasn't around, we wouldn't need these scream clubs. No, this is built in you. This is your guys' worldview. This is your ideology. This is how you guys handle things. There's a reason, I pointed it out before, that people on the left just seem to be slightly more medicated. I'm being nice, guys. Slightly more medicated at a very young age compared to people on the right. What I'm trying to get to here is there seems to be a lot more mental health issues that lean on the left. And this is absolute evidence of it. To you guys, this is normal. Scream clubs. This is not normal, guys. Most normal people, what they would do when they have built up rage, pent up anger, they go to the gym. They put on boxing gloves and hit a boxing bag. They go lift weights. They go jump on a bike and pedal the shit out of it to get that anger out. They don't feel this need to get together in groups and do a group yell with a bunch of strangers. It's just very odd. I'm sorry. But hey, if this works for you, if this stops you guys from taking hammers and smashing apart sidewalks to throw them at police officers, then I'm all for it. If you guys can channel that negative energy through something like this, I'm all for it. But something tells me these very same people that we just watched in this video here that all got together as strangers to scream together are probably going to attend the next ICE protest.
Donald the fucking loser has signed an executive order saying that if you burn a U.S. flag, you'll go to jail for a year. Even though there's already a Supreme Court case that states if you burn the U.S. flag, that's protected under the First Amendment. This man wants to be a fucking dictator. I need y'all to remember that executive orders are not laws, because he cannot do that. It is not illegal to burn a U.S. flag. That is our First Amendment fucking right. It is so crazy, because the party that loves saying First Amendment, First Amendment, First Amendment when I say slurs, but when it's actually the First Amendment and it's the government trying to prosecute individuals for practicing their First Amendment, y'all have no issues with going against that right. But when it's you getting called out on social media for saying racist fucking slurs, oh my God, the First Amendment though, because you don't even understand what the fuck it is.
I just made a video about flag burning and it got pulled down for violence. For violence and criminal conduct. Hey, Trump signing a royal decree doesn't make it law. It's still completely legal to burn an American flag. It is protected speech under the First Amendment. Facts don't care about your fucking feelings.
So contrary to popular belief, more isn't always better. So why am I telling you this? If you voted for Trump or you support that man in any way, shape, or form, unfollow my fucking page right now because I don't want you here. You don't belong here. You supported a man who hates anyone that isn't like him.
Okay, hi new people. If you listen to one video I ever watched, listen to this one. I'm going to give you 6 words. What you do with those 6 words is on you. Ready? The government should fear its people. Do with that what you will.
There is a God. We need him now. This man needs to be impeached permanently, like for real, and he needs to go to prison. He does not deserve to walk a free man, to be president or anything. With all the stuff that he's done, it's ridiculous.
Okay, this video is for all teens, but especially the teens in Utah. This is your reminder that no matter what your parents believe or think, you can always do your own research and create your own beliefs. I've realized that the racism has gotten really bad again, and we have tons of division in our age group, but we need to make sure that we aren't just listening to what our parents say, and that we're making sure that we can create the best future for ourselves. Our futures are looking worse by the day, with Congress passing bills that will affect us and our children. As teens, we're told to stay out of politics and stay quiet, and when the time comes, vote the way our parents did. But we can do things differently. We can be rebels for a good cause. We can call people out if they're wrong, even if it means that it's our parents, our teachers, and our friends. You owe it to your future self to be informed. The lives, the health, and the safety of so many other people living in America can be changed by us. Teens can and will be the change that America desperately needs. So apparently, Trump thinks that teaching about slavery is woke. Like, sir, slavery happened before Wi-Fi, TikTok, and even your spray tan formula. How is history somehow political? The Smithsonian teaching kids about slavery isn't woke. It's literally just facts. Saying slavery is bad isn't some leftist agenda. It's just called reality. When a leader calls history woke, it's about protecting their power. Because if people don't know the truth, they're easier to control. So no, slavery isn't woke. It's just history. And ignoring it, that's the real agenda. Teachers in the US, we don't say this enough, but thank you. You're teaching kids while being underpaid, overworked, and you still come to school with patience and love. You are the counselor, the cheerleader, the referee, and sometimes the only parent figure too. I know the system doesn't give you what you deserve, but there's so many of us who see your value and know you deserve more. I was originally going to post about one teacher's wish list, but so many amazing teachers wrote in. Instead, I made a list so we can support as many teachers as we can as a community. The link is on my profile. Tag as many creators, influencers, celebrities, and friends as we can so we can clear these lists.
Okay, so that's 3 clips back to back from this young girl here, and it's not even really that I want to pick apart the context of anything that she's talking about. I will comment on one thing though, when she did say that people that don't know the truth are easier to control. And that is very true. You think that you guys with your pattern recognition, I just want to say, I just thought you guys maybe catch on to that, but the main reason I wanted to play her clips here is it does kind of tell a story as to what I'm getting at. The first clip, where she's talking about you don't just have to live the way that your parents wanted you to live. You have your own independent thought, this and that, this and that. If I was this girl's parent and I was sitting at home and I found this on TikTok and I found my daughter talking this way, the very next day, I would be pulling up to her school and having a private talk with her teacher. One thing that really gets under my skin, guys, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, is teachers are supposed to take care of our children while they're at school. They're not supposed to pass on their own personal thoughts and ideology and try and corrupt our children. That really gets under my skin, and that's all that video said to me. All of her lines that she was saying, they all sounded rehearsed. They all sounded like they've been taught to her. She looks like an indoctrinated student. She almost looks like a teacher's pet, and that teacher just so happens to be very far left and cannot stand Donald Trump and all the other trigger words. I'm sure you guys picked up on them as well. And another way that you can tell that somebody's unsure of what they're saying and they're just repeating something is when they end everything off with a question mark. They make a statement, but it always sounds like there's a question mark at the end of it. This is either a sign of somebody who's lying or somebody who really does not know what they're talking about. They're just repeating words. I would say just by looking at her, she's maybe 15 years old, 16 max, yet she sounds like most liberal women that you'd watch TikTok videos from. Now, why is that? It can only be one thing, and of course, this is just gonna be my opinion, YouTube, is she's got a teacher parroting in her ear all day long at school. A teacher that's pushing her own ideologies and her own beliefs on her. And that really is overstepping a boundary. I've said my opinion before. Take all the teachers left and right, fire them, and start over. And before they can have a job back, they need to be quizzed. If they have any form of political beliefs, that stays out of the classroom. But there's somebody who's far left or even far right, they don't belong in a classroom. You teachers seem to have forgotten something. You're there to teach children. You're there to teach them science, math, have fun with them at gym. You're not there to push any of your beliefs on them. This is not education. This is what you call indoctrination. Now, you guys may look at it like, well, I'm just teaching them some life out. No, you're indoctrinating our children with your personal beliefs. And this is something that needs to come to a full stop. Hence why education must go back to each individual state. This way, the parents are also more closely involved. The parents know what's going on with their children at school. See, the problem is 9 out of every 10 teachers out there are liberals. How would any of you liberal parents out there feel if you had a child that was attending a school where one of their teachers was a far-right conservative and pushing their worldviews on them? I don't think you guys would be very happy either. So bottom line, there's no room for your political beliefs in school. There's no room for your ideology beliefs in school. There's no room for any wokeness in school. And if you guys cannot deal with that, if you can't handle with that, if you can't just teach, then maybe you should not be working there. Because quite honestly, any grown adult who cannot hold back their own political beliefs for a few hours a day just to teach the kids and do your job, you should not be involved in any form of public sector, especially children.
You don't own America. Nobody owns America. No one has the right to this country, the claim to this country. If you're one of those people who sits around and is like, this is our country by right, and if you don't like that, then you need to get out. You don't own shit. Okay, and the only thing that you fucking own is ignorance if you believe shit like that. If we're gonna start talking like that, please give this country back to the indigenous people. Otherwise, shut up. And I know that your immigration policies and the reason you want to deport people, it isn't for the economy. It isn't about birthright. It's not about that. It's about racism, and it's blatant. So let's cut the fucking act. Let's cut the act.
First of all, I'm gonna ask for prayers on the situation. And second...
No. I told you guys that the MAGA were here. I can sense it. I can always smell it. This isn't my first rodeo. I have made about 40,000 followers on this app by being mostly political. I make one video that's not political about libraries, although one could argue that libraries maybe are political. It's not like they're doing a lot of reading. And suddenly I start getting followers with like really weird profile pictures. And you know, you can just tell when someone follows that man. You can see it in their face, or you can tell because they don't have a profile picture. But I knew they were here, and I was right.
We asked some local D.C. residents how they feel about Trump patrolling D.C. tonight. How y'all feel about Trump patrolling D.C.? Man, go to hell on a pogo stick. So for everybody saying D.C. welcoming Trump's bullshit, you heard it here. Go to hell on a pogo stick.
If you're a member of the National Guard, I would love to know what's going through your mind as you're patrolling the empty streets of DC, knowing that there is no crime, there's no riots, there's no uprising. You are there for one reason and one reason only, and that is to distract Americans from the fact that your commander-in-chief is in the Epstein files. You know, when I think of our military, I have a lot of respect. I'm proud of our military, but your commander-in-chief has reduced y'all to nothing more than domestic terrorists. And I know not all of you want to be there, but for those of you who think you're doing something good for your country, you're not. I don't know how it makes you feel to know that your commander-in-chief is using our tax dollars to use the National Guard to serve as a distraction, but it truly embarrasses me. It embarrasses me for my country. It embarrasses me for you, our military. And the only word that I can think of to best summarize this entire situation is pathetic. Truly, truly pathetic.
No, but can you imagine being so fucking hated? Like, so reviled. Like, so just detested that, like, literally millions of people are just walking around hoping that you will die. Like, millions of people are focusing at least a little bit of their attention, of their energy, of their manifestation, whatever the fuck you want to call it. They are focusing at least a little bit of their dream, their dreaming, their envisioning, to hope that you die. Can you imagine being that hated? I can't, but he can.
Can you imagine this, though? This may be a little hard for you lefties to stomach, but can you imagine 77 million people loving you that much that they voted for you and they wanted you to lead them because they trusted you that you were going to take care of the country, that you were going to secure the border, that you were going to fix the economy, that the other guy messed up? Could you just imagine that? But to you liberals out there, how do you not look at your own videos and realize, like, wait a sec, I think something might be wrong with me here? How is it that one man that I've never met before gets under my skin like this? Why is it that I feel the need to find inclusion with other people that think the way I do? Why is it that I need to jump on TikTok? And this girl here has only got, I think it was like 270 followers, so she's new, but she's jumping on TikTok all as part of the I hate Donald Trump train, which is actually quite common when it comes to new TikTokers on the left. They jump on because they just want to bash Donald Trump. And why is that? Because there's not enough people in their physical real world, people that they interact with on a daily basis, that have their same worldview. Now, why is that, lefties? It's because you guys are a minority. You're not crowded all over the streets. It was all in your head. You guys just assume that everybody who's walking past you on the sidewalk feels the same way that you do about Donald Trump. And the truth is, they either probably don't really give a shit about politics, or they actually voted for Trump. Or they're like, you know what, no, I'm not really big on Trump, but they don't hate him like you guys do. So you guys need to seek out the deep, dark corners of the internet to validate your feelings with other people that have the same crooked worldview that you guys do. And you know what that is? That's a mental illness. Now, every single video, I will bring it up and I will parrot it right back to you guys, because you guys used to boast this all the time about your education and how we should pick up a book and how we should open up our eyes and get critical thinking and pattern recognition. You guys claim to have all these skills, yet you don't use any of them. And why don't you use any of them? Well, there's only two answers there. Either it's complete bullshit, you guys are not at all as smart as you thought you were, or you are as smart and you can see the patterns and you do have that critical thought to understand that you're on the wrong side of everything. Yet, your feelings, your personal feelings, or you know what you guys call your personal truth, is too important to you that you really don't care. You'll deny reality because you want to live in that I hate Donald Trump bubble. You want to pretend that he's a dictator. You want to pretend that he's a fascist. You want to pretend that he's the next Hitler. You want to pretend he's deporting all these good, kind-hearted people that just came to America for a better life, and that there was no criminals, that the border walls were never actually wide open, that there isn't 20 million illegal immigrants that came across your borders unvetted, that there isn't 300,000 missing children. This is all fake, right? You just want to play pretend to validate your own feelings because you've been told to. You don't know what else to do. For the past 10 years, that box with the screen on it's been telling you Donald Trump's a bad guy. And you've trusted Rachel Maddow for as far back as you can remember. You've trusted Joy Reid all this time. You've trusted MSNBC, or sorry, MS Now is what they call themselves now. This has been your source of information for all these years, and it's kind of hard to digest that maybe they've been lying all this time. But in the back of your mind, there's something telling you something's not right here. Something's not adding up. You're choosing to ignore it though, so you can continue to live in that bubble. And then if I ask, that bubble that you live in, is there a tunnel that has a light at the end of it? And when your only answer is you're wishing physical harm on Donald Trump, something is really wrong in your daily life. And you really need to question, are you truly on the right side of history? All right, guys, that is a wrap. If you guys are new to the channel and you're not subscribed as of yet, please consider doing so. If not, if you can like the video, share the video, interact with it in one way or another to get that algorithm bumping me up, it'll be greatly appreciated. Of course, I still have one more video clip lined up for you guys. And until next video, have a good one, guys.
This about to be a rant, and I don't even want to waste your time. Go ahead and unfollow me because I'm pro-choice, pro my damn self, and anti anybody that hates women. I said because they're trying to overturn abortions. men that don't want to be fathers should be ordered to stay in the house and maintain a healthy household. Men that don't want to be in the house should give over their rights and be arrested. And like I knew I would be, I was attacked. Many of the comments was like, women need to be held accountable too. Let me make something abundantly clear. Women have been held accountable so much so, we have accountability spilled over that could be given to men. We live in a world where a man can say, not really ready to be a father and dip out. Well, y'all get child support, right? 20% of their income. And if they don't make income or their income comes under the table, well, that's a conversation y'all aren't ready to have. Some comments were like, it's not fair to punish men. It's the government that's trying to control women's bodies. Right, but unfortunately, nobody ever gives a fuck unless it negatively affects men. Some comments were like, women can strap up and put on a condom too. But the question isn't who is responsible for practicing safe sex. We trying to figure out what happens in the event that birth controls and condoms don't work because they're not foolproof. All I'm saying is if you want to control women's bodies, then more consequences have to be given to men because child support and 2 weekends out the month ain't comparable to raising a child. If raising a child was that easy, more people would do it. Women need to be held accountable, yet it's widely acceptable for men to get rid of their responsibilities and disappear. If a woman didn't feel like raising a child that she had brought onto this earth to, I don't know, fulfill her dreams, she'd be attacked by everybody from every angle. Before you hit me with, well, everybody should be having safe sex, baby, I already said that. And the response I got from most men was, man, I ain't trying to hear all that. It feels good. Well, it doesn't matter if it feels good to men. Women should make that hard decision and stand up and say, no, we have to wear a condom and we have to be safe. Right. Women, more accountability. In the event that she does make the hard decision and say, if you don't want to do things a safe way, we won't do it at all. And the man doesn't want to take no for an answer, then what? Well, I guess she's a mother now and have to deal with whatever consequences come her way. Things shouldn't be done like we're in 1922 because we're in 2022 and things ain't the same. Men struggle with raising families because they aren't the sole breadwinner anymore. A lot of them ain't even got a crumb. I'm gonna stop you right there. I ain't bitter about shit and I never had an abortion, but I know women who have. And it's not a fun and easy decision, and a lot of the times they have to make that choice by themselves. Whether you're pro-choice or pro-life, that part really don't even matter. It's taking away our right to choose. And the more time goes on, the more rights we will be stripped of. But hey, I'm not an old white man. If you want to take away our rights, take them. But more than just women need to be held accountable. If women are forced to be mothers, then men should be forced to be fathers. And it takes more to being a father than just finances. And if you're pro-life, then that's amazing. I would never condemn somebody for making a choice. But with that same breath, open your heart, home, and wallets to these children. You ever seen a mother or a father whose behavior you really didn't quite agree with and thought, these people shouldn't have kids? Right. Listen, in the event that this video ends up on the wrong side of the algorithm, click on my link, go to my website, and join my text club. Because in a minute, women won't be allowed to get on social media.